Welcome along, everyone, and here we are for round 6, I think, of ACC season here. We're back in Laguna Seca this time around. Last time we had the endurance in Spa. It was a really fun race at Spa, even though it was boring in the mid, but it was an interesting race. Now it's a different kind of race today. It's a dash, it's a round 7 of our season here. So, very warm welcome to you all. Unfortunately, we missed the qualifying session already because of technical issues, but it's fine anyways. We're going right straight into the race here. 45 minutes race, so it's a dash pretty much. So pretty much half the time of what we saw in the endurance race. Um, and I think it's a 25-second mandatory pit stop as well, so that should definitely spice things up a bit. Hopefully, it's a bit more action filled than the last time around in Spa, where we had quite a bit of drama at some parts of the race, but then most of the race was pretty normal and pretty stable. But this time around, given that this is Laguna Seca after all, and there's some historic corners on the circuit, very tricky. The gravel is right close to the curbs and right close to the edge of the track as well. So there is a possibility of a lot of mistakes happening in this. Yeah, so very exciting. With 30 seconds away from the start of the formation lap, uh, meanwhile these guys here set up their real time just to make sure everything is right. Yeah, let's see who's the favorite. Yep. So
Have you
the grid order here, as we see, the Virtue the band as usual. On pole, the probably top three guy overall in this season, but we're missing the two protagonists of the season. You could say the uh, ever fast Davlish Singh and Masoom as well, who are the title contenders pretty much. They are sort of a league above everyone else, but now we have the Panda who is here to replace those places. So Panda is definitely looking to be the hot star in this race. Noob here once again. I think he had a very good race last time. He was heading for podium in Spa, but had some contacts and some bad luck, so he couldn't do that. But Noob is very close on pace as well. If he could keep it on track and keep it get into that rhythm, he could be very fast. And we have 8 cylinders, who once again is quite fast, so he could turn something up today in this race. We have Tanish in P4, Paro Gordon in P6. Another one of the very consistent guys out there who do not have the pace, but I think in Bathurst we saw a very commendable race from FIFA Kanak in 7, Starboy in 8, Raja in 9, Casey in 10. So Casey should be interesting as well to watch out for. Moto in 11, TLSD in 12, Helium 13, Stalin 15. So we are here, we're almost ready to go here. Green flags are about to wave for Worship the Panda and everyone else as we see half the field cross the finish line, and it's green lights and away we go. And let's see what's going to happen. The Audi of Deepak Raj is very close, almost 3 wide, going into turn 1, and Worship the Panda keeps the place. So no worry for him, no pressure from me. And there's a slight bit of contact between Noob and 8 cylinder, so but they get away well, anyways, without any spinning or any of that sort. As we see Deepak Raj going side by side, trying to go around the outside of Tanish in the Ferrari, and I think, no, it just doesn't quite pull it off. So Tanish keeps it ahead, and now Deepak Raj is following him behind, and it's looking very close on the first lap. But Varshit the Panda already has a 1.5-second lead, but as we see it in the midfield, it's very close and very congestive. Watch out here. We have the FIFA Kanak in BMW. Uh, I think he got a P2 last time around. Extremely consistent pace from him. So he's one of the other guys to watch out for this race as well. As we look through the corkscrew corner, one of the most historic corners in all of motorsport, everybody keeps it clean. I think nobody has got an issue with that corner. So everybody survives on the first lap. Very interesting. I think who's at
a great start to all the front runners. Moto being the only one who had a spin out of turn 3, I think. So
yep.
that's why he's quite far off right now. Everyone seems to have settled down after the opening lap. Panda had a great start, then Itzel had a jump on Noob, which bodes well for his silver championship, which he was fighting with Noob, but then Noob has been promoted to the pro class, so he has his task cut out now. And of course, Tanish and Noob being the two drivers, as we see
Oh,
contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin of Helium and Shalaluk. That was hard done. Helium cut across right in front of him, and Shalaluk had nowhere to go. And that's another spin, and that's Shalaluk who has fallen behind. As you see, it's Casey right behind Real SD, who is in the new Audi this time around, and Casey going to the corner just before the corkscrew, coming up to the corner just before the corkscrew, one of the trickiest corners, I would say. And there is a slight bit of banging between the two guys. They managed to keep it on track, going side by side into corkscrew. SD sort of SD breaks way too late, and he goes really wide. Casey gets a position, maintain the pressure on SD, and that's and you managed to pull out a false move out of him.
yep. Very action-packed first few laps here already. But that move on Shalalak, it looked more like a racing incident to me because Helium did go wide, but also it was Shalalak was pretty much at the apex. I don't know. It looked like a bit like a racing incident. We leave it to the stewards to decide. As you see, Deepak Raj going a bit wide. Will the incident be repeated here? No, they keep it clean this time around. Tifa Kanak and Deepak Raj. I think these two guys are very clean, so I should have no worries with these two guys. But yeah, that mistake from SD, I'd say very sort of a rookie mistake to be honest, because SD was way too on the left hand side. He shouldn't be doing that. Going into Crocs, he should be as right hand side as possible. He should be hugging Casey pretty much. He wasn't doing this, so he was on the left hand side. Even if he had broken early, I don't think he could have made that corner. So that was a mistake from SD, and it paid off well for Casey. We see BMW going slowly for Kanak. I think he had a yeah. What's happening here?
Be some issue. Maybe he went really wide and just didn't have the time to rejoin, or there has to be some issue with his gear, because I don't see why he was going so slow there. But yeah, as you mentioned, SD's was really Helium got a bit loosey goosey around the corkscrew exit as Deepak Kanak is trying to pressure SD into another mistake this time around. Let's see if SD can keep it together, but they managed, as we see, both of them dipping at their wheel on the gravel outside, sand outside, whatever it is. But this track, you really have to keep it in the limits. You take one of the sausage curve, you will go off track, you dip your wheel in the gravel outside, and you lose so much momentum. So it's really important as we are on board. Helium who plans a move on Raja, dives down the inside. Raja planning to go for a switchback, but Helium has the better exit and has his task completed, and Helium goes ahead of Raja right there in P11.
Yep, as we see, Worship the Panda is. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake from Raja there, but we see Worship the Panda in the lead here, almost 2 seconds now. But there's a bit of a group forming behind him for the podium positions. I think it's a 3 or 4 car group, very close by. So these guys, it's in this is in 7 positions. I think he made up 2 positions in the laps, which we haven't seen. But it's in this Noob and Tanish there, very close behind each other. This should be interesting. Let's see if it can go around throughout the entire race. Noob going a bit wide on the exit of that corner. I think it's a turn 9. I think. So yep, but still they're still pretty close. So 8-cylinder seems to be the favorite for the podium right now, but let's see what's gonna happen. Tanish going a bit wide as well. So as you said before, it's very easy this track to dip a wheel in the gravel, and you lose so much time just for like smallest of mistakes on this track. So it doesn't have many runoffs. All the runs you have, like at turn 1 or something like that, and runoff is pretty much gravel for you. So you have to be very careful to not overjudge, like misjudge the corners. Drive a bit under the limit, you could say, but so if you want to win and you want to gain position, you have to push it to the limit a bit. These corners especially are very hard on competitions and races because they're very you put a lot of forces on the tires. They are very medium speed and high speed corners. These are coming up to very tricky corner as well, and this is as we see,
that's Tanish.
Danish, yeah, as a
ball he has damaged.
yeah, I was about to say that was a very hard corner regardless,
Yeah.
but Tanish made a big mistake here, so oof, that's gonna cost him. Oh, that's a lot of
Yeah,
damage in the front
looks
bumper
like
there.
suspension damage, so he is going to pit if he can make it there. That's it. And we see Pururao also going into the wall in the corkscrew. And yeah, that's gonna be an early pit stop for him too. That Bentley's front is
Oh, he's parked there.
and another driver behind him, Shalala, just got scared a bit by a yellow flag right ahead of him. Moto manages to keep it on track and avoids Pururao. Uh, and wow, that was some chaotic scenes right there the
Yep.
corner before the Cox and Cox itself. Tanish is into the pits, and I'm assuming Pururao will be in pits as well. Just a reminder, we have a 25-second mandatory pit stop this is last round. So, anyways, these guys would have had to pit, but with this added damage, of course, that pit stop time increases. So let's see how Tanish can make a comeback after such a hard hit.
Yep. Tanish, very unfortunate for him there. And now we see a move coming here from Pururav Gaur after making a mistake, trying to get ahead of Cannonade, and he manages to do so. Cannonade, I think, is a rookie this season. I think maybe it's the first race. I've never seen him before.
It's his debut race, and
Yep.
he has joined us recently. And it's great to see him racing with us here. And we saw another, debut driver for this season, Pururao Gowda going past him.
Yep, definitely. Uh, Another one of the big losers was Pururav Gowda. Make a mistake. I'm not sure if he had damage to be honest, because I think he managed to get on the brakes and sort of save the car before hitting the wall. Because corkscrew, even though it's hard, it's relatively low speed corner. So even if you lose it, you can just get on the brakes, slam the brakes, and lock the tires, and just get away with not hitting the walls or going to gravel. As we see, very trying to make a move on 8 cylinders here, trying to get that P2 from 8 cylinders, trying to put so much pressure. Now he does a switch back on that's a contact
Oh
between 8 cylinders
no!
and Noob, and that ends off very badly for Noob. That's yeah, I don't know what to say about that, because I think 8 cylinders was pretty much on the left hand side, so no way he could go. And Noob just sort of drives
Uh,
straight into him, so very
Noob had
unfortunate for
so
Noob.
much better traction coming out of the double apex turn one, and he just kept his nose in right beside Dittel's car, and they were going side by side through turn two as well. And then, of course, since goes right, Noob had to go slightly wider and had contact with Dittel right there, and just spun around, and that's really unfortunate for him. As we see Helium trying to plan a move on the real SD, and I don't think he should really go for the move on Fox too, as we see Noob's damaged car on the left as they both pass him. And let's see how these two guys handle Fox 2 fairly easily. It's Fox 2 is such a what should I say, a corner where a practice makes you perfect. It's so rhythmic corner, as we have a disconnection momentarily. Nonetheless, we have that. But yeah, Corkscrew is a really rhythmic corner. Once you are in the rhythm, there you just have to go around to get your breaking point, and that's it. Now it's sort of longish run to turn one. Helium right behind the real SD. That Audi definitely has a better top speed, I would say, than the Aston. As Helium goes for a wide dive, SD tried to cut him off, but then Helium saw the gap, squeezed himself in, and goes past SG and gets another position of the P7 now.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with your annotations. It's true that it's a very rhythmic corner, as you said, because if you get into the rhythm, it's quite straightforward and you have nothing to worry about. But if you slightly misjudge the braking point, or just in the entry, if you hesitate a bit, you're gonna end up very badly, because it could go really southwest in that situation. So yeah, Corkscrew is definitely one of the hardest corners out there. So, and then we see Helium got past SD. Very straightforward move, I would say. SD should have covered it off, to be honest. I think he was a bit too careful. But we see move coming from Shalalak on Cannonade here. So Cannonade going a bit backwards. He gained a few positions from the misery of Shalalak and I think that was Pururav Gowda. But now he just doesn't seem to have the pace to keep up with this guy. So now he's falling back a few places and just have to settle for that lower positions now. But meanwhile, what let's see what's gonna happen fighting for the 14 positions. I think 8 cylinders benefited massively from that mistake from Noob. I wouldn't say mistake. I think it was just a racing incident between both of them. But I don't think nothing exclusively something somebody did wrong there. So, oh, we
Yeah,
see
and
shuttle.
yep,
You go
he
ahead.
has had a spin and he falls back behind Cannonade and Motomoto both now once again. Again, that's I think the second last corner where he spun around. It's and that's 8 cylinders who is into the wall.
Oh
Uh,
no.
and these two corners before the cockroach catching lots of people out. The
It seems.
entirety of first sector, and sorry to cut you off, the entirety of first sector and the middle of the starting of second sector, it's really important you get the braking points right, because if you sort of brake slightly late, have to brake more, and then try to compensate by going early on the throttle, you risk it to go wide and lose the car. As we see Moto now going past Cannonade, who is sort of struggling. Sorry, my bad. That's Noob, who has unlapped himself from Cannonade, and now Moto behind Cannonade now is sort of struggling to keep up with the pace of the drivers right now. Moto,
Ooh, that's a bit risky.
silver class driver, and yeah, he backs out. Don't want to go sideways. Oh, he has already passed him.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Canonade just didn't want anything to do with that move. They just backed off and just gave the way for Moto because I don't think that move would have sticked if Canonade committed to that. So I think it was just Canonade being more mature, just giving it up. But anyways, as you were saying, yeah, it's an industry. I think nobody wants the podium position here. Everybody's making a mistake. Everybody never
Absolutely.
get in podium position.
And out of all this kerfuffle, it's Deepak Raj who has been sort of the biggest gainer up to
Oh
P2 now.
no, he's in second. Wow.
Java as well up to P3 now, and its started P3 is now down to P4 after jumping the start on Noob and getting the second position. But then, of
Yep.
course, we have had lots of incidents with the drivers going off themselves, apart from, I would say, Noob, and it still had brief contact, then Shadalurk and Helium as well. But more or less, it's the track catching out a lot of people here.
Yep. I was about to say before that version of the Panda and Edge just look quite comfortable now for the end of the race to keep those positions. And then immediately it's in this sort of win it. So, anyways, it'll be interesting to see if it's in this had any damage from that excursion he had, uh, or something like that. Maybe not major damage. I could just recover the position as you see car flying around there. But anyways.
Wonder-
Coming back to your point about breaking points, it's definitely very important, especially in sector 2. I think more so than sector 1, or at least the first corner. First corner, you can even if you outbrake yourself, you can just go a bit wide and sort of cut it back. Even if you lose like a tenth or two, it's fine. You lose obviously a bit on the muscles, but you can just
yeah,
cut it back and just gain that. But in sector 2, if you just miss it by
and
oh,
that another spin. This time it's Casey.
Casey. Yep. Nobody's taking this uh, that seriously. I think they're just trying to push it to the limits. Everybody is trying to find their feet, but at the same time, they're not being cautious at all. So they're just doing whatever they can to gain a lot
And
of lap time. But yep,
it's
a
a
lot of drivers make mistakes here.
Yep. Again, if you don't find your rhythm in this track can be really excruciating to drive on. And of course, if you have any bit of damage,
Yep. Okay, just cut off. Yep, I
Tanish is
think it.
Tanish is a lap behind right now, so he goes past Cannonade. So let's see how it goes for him. What sort of comeback can he make?
Yep, Moto seems to be steadily making up positions bit by bit, not by his pace purely, but more so that benefiting from the necessity of others making mistakes. So it's still a good way to make positions. And Moto just doesn't seem to have the pace, but he's one of the fastest guys in our F1 PC league. Uh, Definitely, I think in season 7 or season 6, he just started in the F1 game. So he's not a rookie or something like that. He knows how to uh, gain a lot of lap time. He knows how to participate and gain that lap time. I don't think he just put in the practice enough for this particular race. So that's why we see him a bit farther away. But he definitely is the one who has lot. He keeps pace and still focuses a bit on this game as well. There's a lot of It's
Yep,
a
absolutely. He has the pace, and he saw, and that's why he is in silver class. He started in silver class, of course. He showed that pace right away on our signups when we had our signups going on for season 5, season 4 as well. And we are, let's say, on board FIFA Connect for this lap and see how he does with respect to the breaking points. Can we go on board him?
yep.
Yep, perfectly fine. Going on turn one after the longest start finish straight, you'll spot the 4 marker board on the right. You break right alongside it, take a double apex line into turn one, hits the first apex and hits the second apex nicely. It's really important you keep your card together because you can have a bit of oversteer. Break right after the 2 board on the left, hit the apex, accelerate straight out after had a bit of oversteer there. Break before the 1 marker, just tap the brakes slightly for that.
Yep. Okay, we just cut off.
My bad, my fingers are too thick for a push to talk button. But yeah, now coming up to this blind corner, this is the real tricky one for me. And he hits the apex pretty nicely. He is driving really consistently
Yeah,
at the
for me
moment.
that's more satisfying than Koushik, to be honest.
Absolutely.
When you get
And
it right and you just miss the curve, but also maximize the exit, is just so satisfying.
definitely, because if you hit that sausage curve on the inside, you will go wide and then onto the gravel outside and ruin
Yep.
your lap. And that then just ruin your full, concentration as well. And last turn again break alongside the second board, and that's your lap around Laguna Seca, one
Yep.
of the best tracks in US, I would say.
Yep, definitely. Fever Connect keeping it consistent, but he doesn't seem to gain that many positions compared to last race, even though he's keeping it consistent. I've noticed that all the guys from P2 to P5, I think, all of them within a second of each other in terms of lap times in the finish lap. So I don't know if someone's going slowly or if everybody's in the same place. Oh, that's a bit of a late dive from Noob there, very eager to get past Helium and lap himself there. But Noob actually had made a pit stop after that damage he had, and now he's completed his mandatory pit stop. So for now, I think he's just trying to focus on get back as many places as he can in this race. Obviously, podium and everything is out of question for him now. It's just about getting into the top 10 maybe, or maybe some more points after that. So yeah, he'll try to push on a bit. Meanwhile, we see people who made pit stops. Tanish has completed his mandatory pit stop as well as Raja as well in P13. So Raja is looking quite good, almost 3 seconds ahead of Noob. So if you can keep up the pace, uh, he could get a few positions back as well. So I don't know where the pit window is or if there's any mandatory pit window, but I think we
Yeah, no mandatory pit window. You can do your pit stop whenever you want.
yeah. So I think we'll see pit stops happening quite soon because we're reaching to a point of the race pretty soon here. So we're gonna see some pit stops happening pretty soon. Anyways, we see Luke going to the corkscrew, just can't sort of get that traction out of every corner to sort of challenge Helium. Again, we see him going to the inside, try to confuse Helium and try to pressurize him into a mistake, but nothing
Yeah,
happening because Helium is a very experienced sim racer, you could say. A lot of league races in F1 as well as ACC, so he doesn't seem to be bothered by the tactics of Noob.
definitely true. Plus, he is a lap ahead of Noob right now because, of course, Noob had that unfortunate incident. So, of course, they are not fighting, and Noob has to respect that thing. Of course, if he has space, he should get past him as quickly as possible because staying behind Helium is sort of ruining his lap times and his push to get further ahead in any position. Currently down to P14, and we have Tanish 9 seconds behind him, almost had a heart attack there, and Raja roughly 3 seconds ahead of him. So yeah, let's see how quickly can he get past Helium to stock on Raja and Casey.
Casey seems to have made the pit stop as well, so he's looking quite good. I think we saw a bit of mistake from Casey. I don't know which lap it was. He seems to have made a
Yep,
small mistake, but it didn't
yep,
seem to
turn
lead
one
much.
out of turn one. As we
Yep.
see Raja making a mistake, going, just losing his traction on the inside corner of the corkscrew. And yeah, Noob gets a position right there, as he's still sort of struggling to get past Helium. Helium has been maintaining a consistent speed for the moment, and let's see if Noob can get past him, because with Raja out of the way, now it's Shalalurk who is his next target.
Yep. Uh,
And Shalalurk has a stopwatch 30 seconds.
oh,
Damn.
what could that be? So
Speeding,
is he abusing
speeding
it?
in the pit lane, definitely.
As you see, Noob finally getting past Helium and finally unlapping himself. So he'll try to push on. No, Helium is yet to make a pit stop, so not going to be this close to Noob when he comes out of the pit. So, anyways, unfortunate for who was that? Raja, right? Yeah, Raja.
Yep, Raja.
It's unfortunate for
Also,
him.
yeah, in the front runners, it's Deepak who is the first one to dive into the pits. Rest, all our drivers are still staying out. Panda,
Oh
Starboy,
no!
as we see SD having a few donuts in the middle of the track, uh, losing it out in the exit of turn 3 again,
It's
a corner
cylinders.
where you brake slightly. Was that 8 cylinders or was that SD?
No, no. It's cylinders with stop and go 30 seconds.
Oh, oh shit. Oh yes, I just thought. Yeah, that pit lane is really sketchy. It seems like it opens into turn 1, but then you suddenly have to turn left. But of course, stop and go. It's most like it would be the entry speed into the pits where both of Shalalurk and there seems to be an incident between Ed Cylinders and Deepak Raj, and
Oh no!
both of them spun right there. SD, who is of course yet to pit, and Deepak Raj, who had his pit stop, losing massive amounts of time due to that spin. And oof, that's really unfortunate. Both of them, SD, of course, having a bit of a troubled race right now, having a few spins, few contacts here and there. As we see it, cylinder dipping a wheel, going into the pits to serve his stop and go 30 seconds. Real SD also going into the pits to serve his mandatory 25-second pit stop.
Yep.
So
Eight
it's
cylinders will.
still, yeah, he got up to P2, but then he is going down below P10 easily right now.
Yep. The race unfolded very rapidly for his cylinders here. First a mistake and now a stop goes. It's pretty much ruined his race completely. Deepak Raj, they're losing a lot of time. I don't know what happened exactly. There between either SD in between him or maybe just Deepak making a mistake there. But anyways, he lost a lot of lap time. So it'll be interesting to see what his position will be against Starboy, who was in P3. We don't know what the different delta was between them before pitting. So, anyways, we'll just watch out for what the gap is going to be between them.
That was Tanesh just blazing past Raja right there. Deepak has severe damage on the front. That's gonna, hamper his turning into some of these fast corners, plus his straight line speed as well. And yeah, going slightly understeering into the left hand part of corkscrew, but keeps it nice and tidy still at the exit. And it's unfortunate that he has had to have so much damage now. He is still up to P6. I think all five drivers ahead of him have to pit. So let's see how it turns out for him, where he comes out.
Yep. Uh, Deepak Raj, I don't know what his pace is, Starboy. So, what his pace is against Starboy. So that will be interesting. So we just have no clue what their position is going to be. Now we see a battle between Tanish and Cannonade here. Both of them made a pit stop, but Tanish going around the outside. That's very brave between both the Ferraris, but he just can't quite pull the move off. Now we see Tanish trying to pressurize him into a mistake there and then going into this extremely tough corner back into the Rahal straight. I think it's Rahal straight if I'm not
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
he's
goes
just
for a
dived into the
drive into
corkscrew.
the corkscrew. Oh my god, that's a
He's
sender too.
brave and
Yep, really, really brave. Cannonade also being aware and just, sort of gives him the way. But a really bold move right there from Tanish, sending it on Cannonade and getting the move done. Raja also fancying his chances now right behind Cannonade, as we saw Tanish move up to P10 now after that horrendous spin earlier in the race. And he is dipping a few wheels into the gravel here and there. Also, not to forget the timing of this race. We are on, the dawn part of the world, 5:30 a.m. So that sun is right
ooh,
there into our eyes, as Raja almost was, uh, into Cannonade, and now going into turn 2, they
Oh
again
no.
made slight contact. Raja's car was there on the inside. Cannonade wanted to cut him off, but then that
Uh,
contact didn't help his chances. He is now down to P12, having lost 2 positions in a matter of half a lap.
yep, I was about to say Canada was keeping it very clean this race, even though it's us, because that's one of the most important factors in UW races in a community league racing. But as I was about to say that, he just made contact with it. So that's unfortunate for him. Uh, I think it's one of the racing incidents again. I think it's Canada just sort of turned in a bit early, or maybe just turned in general. Maybe Raja was too ambitious in diving. Oh no,
Oh,
Raja making
again,
the
I
same
just
mistake
again.
again.
Yeah, corkscrew hasn't been kind to him. Yeah, that's been.
I think there's a bit
Uh,
of karma from what he did in
yeah,
turn two to cannonade there, but yep.
yeah. I mean, of course, the car bottoms out there, but I think his setup is just not safe for corkscrew at the moment. He's just bottoming out and losing that car. That's the only way you can go left. Otherwise, you'll just go straight. So fortunate to incidents for Raja at the same corner.
Yep. As we see, Worship the Panda finally coming out of the pits after making his own pit stop. So now everyone has done their mandatory pitches. So now every position is to fight just for the position and not net positions or anything like that. So
Yep. So we
uh,
were wondering where Deepak would come out, and he is P4 now. So that spin might not have mattered enough given how he is about 18 seconds behind Starboy right now. But
he
still,
might
that
have
good
had a
and he's
bad pit
managing
stop
a
or something
podium.
because he was comfortably ahead of Starboy before pit stop. I don't know how he lost 18 seconds. Maybe it's just a spin. He
Yeah.
just lost like 10 seconds. So unfortunate for Deepak because it was looking quite good for P2. Right now he's out of the contention. Unless FIFA Kanak and Starboy have some action between them and we see them lose loud or lap time, then Deepak Raj might come into play here. But for now, there seems to be spread out too much fight for the podium. But Starboy and FIFA Kanak still here, up for fighting for the rest of the podium positions for P2 and P3. Worship the Pan Nice and he's a leg of his own as we expected before the start of the race. It's a massive pace advantage, so it's definitely what we expected. Uh, but yeah, we're missing both Davlish and Dam, so it's been interesting to see in this track, especially because a lot of mistakes could happen. It would have been excellent to see two titans pretty much of ACC league racing here in our community fight it out in one of the most challenging tracks. But anyways, we can't have everything. But oh, that's a bit of a mistake on Tanish. Oh
He
no!
took the sausage and he just dived. I was, about to say it's really heartening to see Tan is still racing even after so many incidents. And just I was about to say he had another incident, Shalhalok giving way in a really sketchy manner right there, just before a fast left-hander. As Worship the Panda is now behind some lap traffic, and Shalhalok on the right side gives him way into the last corner easily, and Panda is having sort of a comfortable race on his own right now as
Yep,
we are on board Noob. Yeah,
he's about to lap P7 and P8 already,
yeah,
so that just shows his dominance as well. But these two guys seems to have found each other on the track. Now they're having a go at each other. Oh
this
no, Casey
goes
was a bit
wide.
wide. Yep, Casey was a bit wide, and Noob just sort of slides right in the inside, takes that position. So, yep, Noob seems to be the more comfortable of the two drivers here. But now they have to give away for the blue flags for here. So pretty soon they have to give away for him. But anyways, yep, that
Yeah,
was unfortunate
see,
for Tanish as well. Previous
absolutely.
day, I expected him to save the excursion and just not go into the wall. That was really unexpected for me because I thought he would just go to the right hand side, save it.
Ooh,
Oh,
Panda goes straight.
oh no,
Oh no, no, no. Panda goes straight out of that blind
that's
left-hander and
massive. That's
smashed
massive.
this guy
Yep,
as Flinders right behind him now, trying to pass him, goes really late on the brakes and just cut across the corkscrew.
just having
And
fun,
offers
but
are driving right here.
yeah, just having fun, just making mistakes. But and I don't know what happened there, but slight bit of misjudgment or just lost a bit of attention there, but he hit the wall as well. So it'll be interesting to see what amount of damage he has. Now it's a challenge for him to keep it on track. It's not as comfortable for him anymore.
Yep,
So yeah,
and FIFA
if
Connect just 11 seconds behind him now, and
once
32
again
minutes.
FIFA connect in P2 because he was P2 in 2 consecutive races. So if he can finish in P2 now, it will be 3 P2 finishes, and I think it's just his third race in the community as well. So a fantastic
Yeah,
racing for FIFA connect.
yeah, absolutely. He has been really consistent in his debut season so far, and he has the pace to go even faster. Definitely, a few more hours in the game, and he will be competing with our pro class drivers for sure. And I'll be glad to have him in the pro class. So let's see how his progression goes after this season and for the upcoming 2 races we have left for our current season as well.
Yep, definitely. See, realistically here, just stuck in the backside. Very unfortunate race for him. He was looking very fighting. He looked with a lot of fighter spirit in terms of fighting for the podium position, but now a lot of unfolded, just like 8 cylinders. A lot of things unfolded, and now he's just stuck at the back here. But it's over 8 cylinders. He's in P9. I don't know what the gap is to P8, but yeah, everything seems to settle down a bit now. But still, the race is not yet done. Still 12 minutes to go. Mistakes could happen, even for the front guys who looks to be safe and very stable. But as we saw before, with the leader making a slight mistake there, so anything could happen. Still, Deepak Raj ahead of SD, but SD seems to be closing on Deepak Raj. Maybe he'll try to unlap himself here. But yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yep. Not. I think it was who was P6. I think Noob and KC who were the closest. I think for a battle as we are on Mudraja and Canon. It can be a bit of a battle right now after seeing a few blue flag cars and Raja and both Canon going into town one. Raj slowed down quite a bit right there. Seemed a bit sketchy on his exit out of that corner. And Porsche is one of the strongest cars on this track, and Panda has been putting it to good use, definitely. KC also leading the AM class, and then we have Raja, the third Porsche we have in our race currently. So I believe Raja should be getting past Cannonade in the next lap or next couple of laps because this Porsche can really, handle these fast corners quite easily. If you, again, it's really crucial to get the braking point and the lines right. But yeah, it's a really strong car right here.
See Raja trying to. I think he'll just get the position here. I think he's just a slight bit faster. Oh no, that's a
Uh,
commentator.
yeah, yeah. I surely believe it's for sure some setup issue because we saw his two corkscrew spins as well. So he has a bit of, I think, work cut out to make better setups, I would say. Might be a few default paid ones or whatnot, but still, uh, getting that loosey goosey out of some of these corners doesn't make sense.
Yep. See Deepak Raj here comfortably in P4, but he's still trying to find any which way to get back on that podium. But the gap is what is it? 17 seconds to P3, so it's a massive amount of gap. I think Starboy are just too far and just have too much pace here. So Deepak Raj just have to hope for something happening for either of them or maybe both of them, and then he can just capitalize on that. P5 Pururav Gowda, even though he had some incidents before, but he's still in P5, so that just shows the least amount of incidents you have, the more comfortably you will be in your positions. See Panda here once again coming back behind of Helium already in P7, so he'll try to lap Helium here. But yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. P4 the Pokash, P5 is P6 is Noob, who is just in front of the Helium here. He's not too far away. Uh, uh, so yeah, everybody's spread out a bit. Nobody's close to each other except I think P2, P3. But wait a minute, what happened here?
A bit of disconnection glitch only.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh no no!
Oh no, he goes into the wall. Once again, that's another
Oh, he's
crash.
spinning around.
Oh
Oh
no,
no,
the people
what's happened
eight
here?
cylinders behind him. Oh my God, it has thrown both Casey and eight cylinders off that yellow flag, and it's FIFA
FIFA
Connect
Kanak
closing
is
him in on rapidly, closing him, and that's just, now the gap is down to
coming.
just 1 second less than that almost, and oh my God, the damage Panda might have suffered this race might just go to FIFA Connect. 8 minutes to go, and that
Yes, all in
was
the air.
completely battered and bruised. Those are some, you know, those battle scarred Porsches right there. And FIFA Connect right on his tail now in that Beamer. And
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, he has a great chance to get his maiden victory.
FIFA Connect just has to keep it on track here. Just does not want to make any mistake because he's in a great position, and Panda does not have the pace. And even if he's a slight bit slower than Panda, Panda could still make a lot of mistakes because his car is massively damaged, and so any braking zone, any accelerating zone, any cornering speed he gives, he has to be that bit extra careful to not do the mistake he has done earlier. But yeah, FIFA Connect is closing slightly bit. So this will be the longest 7 minutes for Worship the Panda here. Trying to keep FIFA Connect going, but if FIFA Connect could get past Worship the Panda, that'll be a very amazing story for him. Uh,
Yeah,
winning
Itzel
third.
and yep, Itzel and Casey were also fighting right there when Panda crashed, and that threw them both off. Itzel,
Yep.
of course, having a spin, and Casey barely avoiding him going, inside of that going inside of the Panda on that corner.
Yep.
But yep, a few close battles lined up right now. KC and itself for P8, and then of course FIFA Connect and Worship the Panda for the race victory. And Starboy is also closing behind them quite quickly. The gap is now down to less than 6 seconds as he probably ran into a blue flag car right there, and that gap
Wait,
just
what happened? He lost a massive amount of
yeah,
time.
he has lost 10 seconds more than
No,
that.
he's off track. He's off
Yeah,
track. Look at the
car
map.
number 11. Yep, and he has retired.
He's
Oh
disconnected, I think,
no.
maybe.
I thought that might be a disconnection, but he is different. Yeah, he can't see a star in the pits. Might be a disconnection.
Yep, that's
That's really
unfortunate.
unfortunate. That means Deepak is now up to P3, although he's 23 seconds behind the leaders right now. But yeah, as we see
Oh,
FIFA closing in on Panda and going into turn one, the 6 minutes left into the race, Panda trying to make him go around the outside, making him take a wider line and keeps the position for now and stays P1 going into turn two now. Not really much of an overtaking chance here if you don't have a car, exactly side by side with the guy ahead. And
yep.
same thing for turn three. Turn four might be as we see eight cylinders right ahead spinning across the track.
Oh,
Both of them barely avoiding it. And again FIFA Connect trying to go around the outside of turn four. And again Panda just makes him go the wider route and keeps the position right. What a battle we are having.
yep.
And KC meanwhile also consolidating that P7 position.
Panda fighting for his life here, very extreme. Running, running him off, wide cutting him off, but everything's legal here. So, very close battle between both these guys for the victory. But FIFA Connect, as we said, just has to keep it on track. He's making a bit of mistakes here, fighting with Panda, but if he just keeps it on track, I think he has a great chance to still win this race, even though there's only 5 minutes left in the race. But he still has a good chance because Panda is losing massive amount of time in this straight, especially due to both the damage and just the inherent decline speed of Porsche. So uh, FIFA Connect still on the advantage side here. So let's see what's going to happen in the next few laps. That'll be interesting for him.
Yep, absolutely. It's the braking, I think, where FIFA Kanak is gaining most of his time. He's uh, braking so late compared to Panda right now, and he is closing in on the apexes
Oh,
of
that's a bit
a
wide.
lot of turns. Yeah, goes a bit wide. Has a bit of oversteering moment trying to correct it. Just 4 minutes to go into the race, and that should mean around 3 laps. This plus 2 more laps, I think, ideally should be right here. So he has three and maybe a final lap if they cross the finish line just before the timer runs out. So let's see how this battle for the lead goes. It's really interesting right now. Uh, of course, recap for people just tuning in. Panda with that battered Porsche had a comfortable lead, but then two crashes later, he is now right in a battle with FIFA Kanak, who has been putting up a consistent show through his previous races, and this race as well goes a bit deep into the corner after corkscrew. And again, Panda still, keeping his car just ahead.
But he's close behind now. Maybe he'll try to make a dive on the last corner, but no, he doesn't. He just elects to stick behind, try to get a cut back, but it doesn't work out. But he'll have the straight line speed here, so it'll be interesting
Absolutely.
to see.
Yeah.
But we'll
Panda going
remember Deepak.
defensive quite early for the turn one dive to avoid a turn one dive, should I say.
Deepak has to go around the outside here, try to complete the move around the outside, squeezes him, and then Worship the Panda contact and pushing him off wide, and he manages to do so. So very hard defending from Panda, but he succeeds once again. So Fifakanak just has to be a bit more aggressive and just go a bit wide on the brakes. He has to trust his car because he does not have the damage that Panda has. So he has to trust his car in just performing that bit more and just stick to the move. Meanwhile, I was coming back to Deepak Raj. I said before, Deepak Raj has to be praying for some sort of miracle here, but because his miracle has arrived in terms of Starboy disconnecting, now he's back on the podium again. So his misfortune in that spin at the entry of corkscrew, it still didn't cost him that much. So even now he could get P2 if something happens between these two guys. But let's see what's
I
gonna
think
happen.
I think it's Casey who's gonna make the battle really much more interesting
Ooh.
because he definitely will be getting some blue flags with both the leaders behind him, as we saw both of the leaders Panda and Deepakanak, having a slightly iffy corkscrew turn right there, and one more lap after two more laps, I think most likely after this one. So yep, two laps it should be. Sophie Pakanak has got a couple of laps to get past them, as Casey going towards the inside, trying to give way presumably to both of these guys as he should, and because I won't want to interfere with the leaders battling. And
Oh,
was really late on the brakes. FIFA Connect that doesn't help his cause, and he definitely will have a better exit speed, but then that enter speed really compromised a lot of time for him, as Panda will be, praying to the gods, just one more lap, keep me ahead of him. He is defending for his life.
yeah, FIFA Connect just has to keep it on track, as I said before, because last lap was pretty good from him. He hit all the apexes and he closed up massively to Panda here, try to make the move on the last corner, but he has to keep up that pace because if he makes these mistakes here and there, he just can't close the gap up. But now he's going to be very close once again oversteer on the exit for FIFA Connect, so he has to be very close once again. Going to corkscrew here, let's see if anybody's going to make a mistake. It seems nobody's going to make a mistake, so very straightforward for both of them. Once again, they'll be
The
very close
last,
coming to the last corner.
yeah, the last turn and the first turn of the upcoming lap is going to be his best bet to get past Panda. He has to get brilliant exits out of both of those corners. Otherwise, I don't see any chance for him to get past him. As we are about to officially begin our final lap of the race. So it's come down to this after 45 minutes. It's down to the final lap for the race victory between Worship the Panda and FIFA Connect, the Porsche and the Beamer. As once again, FIFA Connect fancies a move around the outside into turn one, but too far behind this time around, as Panda is still in the lead. Absolutely nothing separating these two drivers in the past 3 to 4 laps after a few mishaps for Worship the Panda. And of course, not to forget Deepak Raj in P3, and I think it should be Helium. No, that's Purura Gowda in P4, Noob in P5, Helium P6.
Yep,
So,
we see FIFA Connect very close once again. This is the last lap, and he has to put it massively. He has to up the pace massively in the final sector here. Just hit every apex and close up just as
oh,
he did in
brilliant
that corner.
exit.
He's on the outside here. They pressurize Kake into
The
a sorry.
Fox crew. Panda then said, Panda back to it,
Oh,
and
both of them
both of
go
them
wide.
moved. They both cut the track. They don't want warning anyway,
I
and they
think FIFA
don't care
Connect
about
just
warning
gives up.
anyway. Yeah, FIFA Connect, I think, let him go because, of course, it was an off-track move. But
But I don't
yeah,
think he did anything wrong there, to be honest, because
yeah,
both
I
of them
think
went off track.
I think he didn't see Panda going off track as well. But in the end, it's Panda who just, just
Oh,
about
that was
barely,
very
barely,
interesting
by the barest of margins, by the skin of his teeth, manages to keep the
in the
lead,
race there. Yeah,
manages to win the race, and it's FIFA Kanak after a valiant effort who finishes P2, and it's
I think he
going
deserved
to
the
be
win. because
I
it was
mean,
just a bit of misjudgment for me. I think he shouldn't have
yeah,
given back that position. Maybe he
yeah.
just made a mistake. We'd never know
I mean,
until
of
we see
course,
the
with Panda on the inside there, he had to break slightly, but
yeah.
then when you are on the outside going into the corkscrew, you aren't really in a favorable position.
But
So,
anyway,
yeah,
you see Deepak Raj rounding off the podium, so not much of a bad luck for him after his mishap. P4 for Pururav Gowda, I think. So very strong race from him. P5 for Noob, who made a lot of mistakes.
brilliant
And
comeback drive
yep,
from Noor,
Noob bad.
definitely.
Lot of pace. I think he definitely could have been P2 easily if he just kept it on track. But a lot of things unfolded for him as well. But we see Helium here in P6. I think Raja is in P7. Uh,
Yep.
so yeah, those are the top seven here. P8
So
goes to
Raja gets the AM class victory. So
yep.
KC actually fell down to P8. We definitely
Oh,
missed
he's
that.
pulling
I think,
out. What happened here? I think he just completed.
yeah. Did he? No, he didn't complete. There's no checkered flag besides his name. Or did he? Oh, he did. He is P7, yeah.
Uh,
The moment I thought Casey did something, but yeah, he finishes AM class in the lead, so that's it. Panda winning the race by the fairest of all margins. FIFA Kanak, what a brilliant drive from him, finishes P2. Deepak Raj in P3. Pururav Gowda P4, Nu P5, Helium P6, followed by Casey, the AM class winner in P7, Raja P8, Cannonade in his first race finishes P9. That's podium for him in AM class. Real SD had a tough race, finishes P10, followed by Shalalak, another average race for him right there. Starboy, who had an unfortunate disconnection, finishes P12. Then 8 cylinders after that spin. I think he just rage quit. Tanish as well, lots of struggle for him, and Moto 2. So a really eventful race comes to an end right here, and boy oh boy, we had lots of battles actually going on from start to the finish. And let's try to get our podium guys into the VC.
yep. I'm really excited to ask for what happened there in the exit of Corkscrew. I want to know exactly what happened there. But anyways, congratulations to all the podium winners. Sorry, the podium contenders, the podium finishers, and everyone else as well. I don't know what happened to Moto Moto. He was like at one point, but he apparently finished last in the classification. So that's very weird. But Starboy used to rejoin, but it was just too late for him. Unfortunately, he lost the podium to Deepak Raja. Those are the other guys in the road.
Yep, just read the chat. Starboy had power issues and his power went away. So yep, that was the unfortunate incident with him. So that's why he couldn't manage to finish this race in the podium positions. But yeah, let's get these guys into the VC. Can you drag them in? I am on my phone right now, so a bit
Yep.
I'm lost, a bit lost here. Yep. So we have our podium.
Podium finishes here. Let's start off with the race winner itself versus the Panda. Hello, congratulations to you. That was a very eventful race for you. So talk us through what happened in the, especially in those final laps. Uh, Also what happened with the mistakes as well. So yeah, talk us through that.
Yeah, so the race start was pretty good. I've started pulling away a lot and gained some confidence. I started hitting fastest laps after fastest laps. And after the pit stop, the tires were so good. It felt so good. I just hit the fastest lap 22.6, I think. And then I think in my overconfidence, I just overshot a corner and got 35 seconds of damage there, which helped FIFA Connect to catch up. I think like 15 or 16 seconds, something like that. Then it was just it was which last 15 minutes or 12 minutes, something like that, were the hardest hardest racing I've ever done.
Yep.
It was really
Absolutely.
difficult because my steering column was like 20 degrees to the left or something. Like it was really hard to keep the car on track.
Yeah, it was very eventful. We were looking for quite a boring race for the victory until you made the first mistake, and then we were like, okay, he still has a lot of gap to car in P2, but still. And then once again, there was a mistake at I think at the end, exit of turn three. I think.
I think what I did was I was behind somebody and
Yeah,
Uh,
you were lapping
Yeah,
someone, I think.
and
Flipping
Itzel
someone.
and Casey were battling it out.
Yeah, and I just got distracted. I mean, I was pushing for just to improve my times, and I got a little bit distracted. Just made a stupid mistake.
But definitely a nice defending masterclass from you right there. Just the turn one, all efforts from FIFA Connect to turn one, you negated them quite well. And yeah,
I think
props.
I did some dirty defending as well. Some places did
Yeah,
not make contact luckily, so it's fine.
yeah, and definitely the last lap corkscrew, that was quite an event in itself. Both of you going, just cutting the inside part of corkscrew, braking slightly late, of course. You having the inside line right there, but then all is fair in racing and winning, or whatever you can substitute for love and war.
Fair enough.
Yep. Yep, congratulations to you once again. And coming back to P2 here for FIFA Connect, congratulations to you. It's a third consecutive P2 finish. It's a hat trick of P2 finishes for you in our community league racing. So talk us to what happened, and I want to know especially why did you give that position back, or did you give that position back to the Cox crew and the last lap?
No, I didn't give the position back. It was just very slow out of that coming out of the corkscrew, and you have
Yeah.
to like brake because it's very downhill. So you pick up the speed. So you have to brake a little bit, and otherwise I think I would have hit Panda. So yeah, I didn't give the position back. It was just very slow through the gravel.
Yep, that was very. We were like, why? Because both of you went wide. We were confused why if you are given the position back. But as you said, it was not. So, anyways, talk us through what happened to the race throughout the race. You were very consistent as usual, like in the previous races. Tell us what happened. Some of the events in the race for you.
Yeah, the start was good. I think I woke up the Bentley, and I think I made a small mistake at lap 3 or 4. I think we went down to P10, but I could recover, and I think fighting with Itzel. I think before the pit stops, and
Yep.
after the pit stops, I think Itzel got a stop and go penalty, so he was out of the fight. And then
Yeah.
after the pit stops, I came in front of the Ferrari, and it was very close actually. The pit exit. So yeah,
So what was the thought process when as soon as you saw Panda losing it out massively, and then you were
yeah.
just right behind him?
Actually, after the pit stops, I went like into a safe driving mode. Like I was trying to be consistent to end the race, and then I saw Panda like mess up something, I just flew in full push mode and tried to overtake as much as possible. But he defended very well.
Yep. So congratulations to you once again. And yep, enjoy that once again P2 for
Yeah. Oh,
this race.
yep. A victory in the silver class as well. So congratulations on that. You are really gonna challenge a lot of the boys ahead for the silver class victory.
Yeah, thank you.
We
We
also have Deepak Raj amongst us who finished P3. Deepak Raj, I mean, a sort of boringly eventful race, you can say.
Well, yeah, I mean, the start was quite eventful. Like, I had to fight with a few cars. I think I made like uh one one position. I think I actually made two positions, but then Tanej was uh like probably placing his car and he got ahead within turn 4. So yeah, it was going good. And again, as you know, Tanish made a mistake and HL made a mistake, and I moved out to P3. And Starway was catching up, so I decided to make the pit stop. But in the pit stop, I by mistake I forgot to turn off the change tires option. Like I did not intend to change the tires, but unintentionally I changed the tires, which means that I had to stay in the pit box for 5 more seconds. And I also had a freak incident with SD's car, and that really put me back. Like after hearing that Panda had an incident, I'm kind of regretting why I did that pit stop over there. Maybe I could have done something, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we
in the
definitely
end, I
want to
would still
know.
say, yep.
We definitely want to know what happened between you and SD right there and Corkscrew.
Well, as you know, SD's car was damaged, was going slow. And honestly, I didn't really know what was happening, whether he was trying to give way or whether he was trying to take his lane, because as you know, corkscrew is a very blind corner, and I didn't want to be behind a slow car over there. You can never know, like there could be a very bad incident. So the line that I had to take over there was very weird, and that meant that the wheels locked up and I slid right ways and I couldn't really control it. So yeah, really a very freak incident, and I think at that point I was very furious with myself that I threw away a podium, but just some luck fear maybe. I think Starboy had disconnected. I think he drove really well today, like was doing some good lap times, but yeah, it's a shame that he had to disconnect. But yeah, it's still a day of what could have been for me. But yeah, I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, congratulations on the podium. Good race for you. We also have our AM class winner with us, Casey, who finished P7 overall. Casey, a race full of a few binalas here and there, but a decent result in the end, definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm happy. Made some mistakes. I hope it wasn't caught on the stream. But
A few of them were definitely.
oh no. Um, but I'm happy overall because I had no practice the entire week, got no time. But at the end, I got a win. So I don't know if that doesn't make me happy. What will? Also, it's like third win of this season in this class. So um, I have no other words.
Yeah, running away with the championship. I see. Yeah, you definitely had a
Uh,
decent amount of battle with 8 cylinders in the middle of the race. Middle
yeah.
of, to the late end of the race.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a few. I think only a 2 or 3 lap battle, but no,
Yeah,
wasn't quite a battle, but because then either I spun or he spun.
yeah,
So it was over very quickly. But I didn't quite have the pace, but I knew if I could just keep it on track, I would get something out of this race, and I got to win, so I'm really happy.
yeah. A great result for you, and once again, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. So I think that more or less concludes our podium interview for this race. And boy, oh boy, it was a really eventful and brilliant race to watch as well. We had some brilliant battles going into the initial laps, and then, of course, the battle for the lead going into the last 3-4 laps. And of course, in the between, some tight battles in the midfield, a few spins, a few incidents, catching a lot of people in corkscrew and the blind left-hander before it, a few contacts, a few argy but that's what racing is, and that's how eventful Laguna Seca in general is. One of the best tracks to race on, and definitely one of the best tracks to commentate on. So this is me, Kaake, along with my co-commentator Koushik, who was really brilliant tonight, and of course our streamer for the day, ABD28. So that's it. We will sign off. Do catch us tomorrow and Sunday, of course, for our F1 Season 8 races. And as we go on to Silverstone, and we will see you next week for ACC as well at Imola for our sprint round. So see you guys then. Good luck and bye bye.